Mike Lee's next.
The late Associate Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr. used to say that there's a point of contact in every case, and he defined that point as the place where the boy got his finger caught in the machinery. Comparing that statement here, we might say it's a point of failure. Where are the points of failure that the Secret Service should have acknowledged? Where are the points of failure that after 17 days since this assassination attempt, the Secret Service still hasn't even answered the most basic questions? Let's look at what some of those were. First of all, why on earth did they ever let Donald Trump take the stage? He'd already been identified as a suspicious person who had entered with a rangefinder, something that one doesn't normally bring to a political rally. They otherwise regarded him as suspicious. They had taken photos of him. They had sent those things along to the Secret Service. Why on earth did they not remove President Trump from the stage after spectators and local law enforcement assigned to help protect the president had noticed that there was a guy with a rifle on a roof? By the way, it was a sloped roof, and noticeably absent today was the sloped roof defense. I don't understand exactly what role that played in their initial pronouncements. After this attack, maybe they got roofied or otherwise convinced to adopt a feigned sloped roof defense. But that was absurd, as was the Secret Service's initial denials of the repeated requests made to the Secret Service for additional protection. Also unanswered, but that falls squarely within the context of the point of contact or the point of failure. Why on earth did the snipers assigned to the second-story window with a clear view of that infamous sloped roof, a clear view of where the shooter stood and tried to kill President Trump, why was that manned initially with snipers, with sharpshooters, and then abandoned at some point before the shooting took place? Now look, these are and should be obvious and easy basic questions for the Secret Service to answer. And they have had no fewer than 17 days since the attack to answer these questions. These are questions that they should have started asking and probably should have been able to answer within 24 hours. And yet again and again and again, what I heard, what my colleagues heard, what you heard if you were watching, was we're looking into it. I'm sorry, that doesn't cut it. These are legitimate questions. And for the reasons that we've identified, it's not as though the Secret Service has comported itself in a manner that calls out to us to defer to them, to have confidence in them. Nobody wants to believe the worst, to suspect the worst about what happens within government. But when they lie to us repeatedly, then when they refuse to answer the most basic questions, when they almost willfully decline to take any of the most basic precautions in order to protect the president, the former president, and I hope the next president of the United States, one has to wonder. Remember, King David didn't personally kill Uriah the Hittite, but he let him go out into a battlefield where he knew there was an imminent risk of grave bodily injury, and he made sure he didn't have adequate protection. We've got to get to the bottom of these questions to make sure that Donald Trump was not intended to be a Uriah the Hittite.
Well done, Bathsheba. Yeah, we have to get King David his own representative.